Hello everyone, today I am playing in Lumber Tycoon. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to load a slot. So I'm going to load slot 6, and apparently I can't load slot 6. So I will save to this slot, confirm, and there. So now I am in slot 1, with a data size of 1. I actually started a video on this, and I forgot to do the slot, so now I have to do the second one, because it didn't let me save my slot. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip the plain axe, and go straight to the steel axe. That'll be pretty simple, only gotta go to 190 and not 90, but it's a much better axe. So, I will do that quick. Alright, we can now get the steel axe. And of course the last tree I did ended up being a really expensive tree. So yeah, we're already started on progress to getting land. And getting land, nice and simple, because we only need about $100. So we can chop this tree, we'll run it over to sell. So let's just grab it and sell it. And most new players, they'll chop the tree up like into small pieces to put in. You can actually sell, most of the time with oaks, you can fit the trunk in, which I just did, and then you can just shove everything else in really easily, like just like that. Make sure to sell everything though, because at the start of the game like this, you can't be missing opportunities for the cash. I can almost buy myself another steel axe, but that's useless. So, let's run over to the land. The slot I like is a middle slot there, but I guess for this round I'll do the middle slot. So, let's get some land. Yep, it lets me actually get the land. 100. Purchase. Boom. Now, we're not selling this sign. And I have a very simple reason why I won't, is that I only get one sign. You'll never get a sign again. You only have that single sign. So you want to make sure you keep that to show that you played. Now, if you sold the sign, you would basically be able to buy both of those, which is nice, but still, it's fine. What I would say, what you should get first would be the sawmill. If you have the money for the car, then do the car, but for what I'm doing, you would want to save the sawmill. And that's because the car is going to be expensive, and if you're just transporting this wood, it's kind of useless. But the sawmill, that gives you planks, and they are worth so much. So having a car for the planks, yes, that's good. You want that. Looks like we got unlucky with this tree here. It looks like I actually do have to cut this one. But I'm going to cut it differently, where I just cut the top there. A lot of the time people don't do that, but for me, I like doing it. So let's fit all that in, run on over and get that sawmill, and bring it back to base. And we got the sawmill. I also brought a tree over here for us. Now, let's chop this tree. but let's make sure the settings are at max. You only do a 1-to-1 or 1.2 1.2 if you want to build with golden blueprint. I don't have that, so we'll just be doing these logs at max size. So let's feed that in, and out comes the plank. Yep. Now, I don't know how much this plank is worth. I'm estimating that it might be worth maybe 300. If that is the case, I might try to get a tree over there and just sell it. Because a single tree should be the 70 I need. So let's hope that's the case. If this is like 200, then I have to run back to base and bring another plank over, which is a bit annoying because the car is 400. That was not enough. So now we gotta run all the way back to base and probably bring 2 planks over. And we got 2 over. That one was actually a pretty big log, so yeah, it alone was almost enough. But now we have 500. So we may as well also check what the next axe costs, which is 550. Now, the car is way more valuable than that axe. I'm just putting it out there, alright? Let's buy the car, and you're only gonna need one. And a quick tip, you don't always have to run like all the way back with the box, which is what I did with the sawmill. You can just place it from here. Yeah, boom, I got the car placed. And the nice thing with the car is, it's so cheap. Like, it only takes $7 to respawn. No, 8. Ugh, I need to remember that better. Yeah, we can now go ahead and mill this stuff and put it into the car. So now I can probably get a truckload that might be worth enough for that next axe, which that's pretty good. So like this log here, we can go ahead, chop that again, and just shove these in. But what I will say is I would prefer to get a conveyor. So if I can't afford the axe, when I get a conveyor, I'll still do the conveyor. Because shoving these in like this is so annoying. It's just so unbelievably annoying. And also, I feel like they need to fix their movement system. Moving these logs is so painful at times. It's simple, like, it's simple to move them, it's sometimes so annoying. Yeah. We can chop that guy next. Put the log in, just like so. That one in. That one in. And that in. And we just repeat this. So we keep repeating it until we get all of these chopped. Now we can drive this. And a tip, if you try to move forward with your car and it doesn't, then you just gotta click one of the items that's in your truck bed or car bed, and that lets you move again. Kinda glitchy, but it's fine. There we go. Yeah, actually, I don't want to drive. And apparently I can't drive straight. There. So, we were at 102. Let's see how much this gets us. I'm guessing this will get us about 600. That's my guess. Let's keep selling. Keep going, keep going. Put an example, these trees would have gave us about 300. And we got, we sell 953. So more than I guessed too. Now, there's, you know, the hardened axe and then the silver axe. I'm gonna do the hardened axe next. And I'll actually see if I can squeeze in the price of a turkey. Can I? I can. But, how much is a conveyor? They're 80. I think I can get the conveyor in still, too. See? Yep, sure can. Alright. This is actually going to be one of my goals for this series, too. Or at least the first couple episodes. I want to try to get all the event items. At least one of each. Which, that means I need to also get the pie. And the pie is about 2.5k. So, I need a good bit. But, we can head back to base. Drop the turkey off right at the sign. And this conveyor, we can easily place. Just gotta slide it on. Make sure that's good, yep. And now we can go ahead and chop a tree. Now, some of y'all might get mad. I don't really like the cherry tree. I don't like it. But, it is a good tree to sell early on. It fits in that sawmill. Overall, the tree's not that bad to sell. It's just, I don't like building with it. So, let's see if we can get this somehow inside the car. Which, it's probably gonna be a nightmare. I don't know if I'm getting... Actually, did I just get it in? That oak is gonna ruin me now. What I hate. Trying to move a nice big tree, you know, finally fit it in your car. And then some random tree comes and messes everything up. But if you have enough patience, I'm telling you, you can fit one of them elm trees inside the truck. I've glitched them inside the truck so many times, and it made moving them so easy. But now, we can chop this trunk. Hopefully I actually hit the trunk, like I did. And, we might... Oh my god, it's all in the way! Alright, let's see, does this fit? It doesn't. So, you might wonder, you know, how are we getting this in? Because it don't fit. You can do this trick where you move it, hold it up right to where that inside is. Like that time I missed. Probably about there. And it'll actually go in, and it'll sometimes work. So just like that, now I have some cherry logs. So I will get to milling all this and trying to fill the truck. Alright, if I had stacked it a little nicer, I probably could have gotten the rest of the tree, but it's fine. Oh, and something I learned. You can put a couple pieces of wood in at the seat area. They'll actually fit. They might fall out, but it's a little extra room. So, yeah. Now, this should get me about 1,000. So, let's see. It'll actually get me that much. I don't think it'll really go much more above 1,000. Maybe 1.1k. But I'm hoping it gets me to 1,000. Let's see. Looks like it does. Oh, hold on. We dropped the piece. We dropped the little piece. That little piece is probably... Yeah. That's some clean numbers right there. 2 1s and 2 2s. That's very nice. Next. We'll be working for the fair sawmill. Try to get to that. That's 1,600. We can... How about we get these two? 2 more conveyors here. Plus that one. Yeah, that's gonna cost a little bit, but they make putting stuff in the sawmill much easier. So that's why I like it. So let's get into the actual seat. There we go. Now we can head to the sawmill. Now, what wood am I gonna get next? Probably just more cherry, if I'm being honest. Cherry, it's... Like I said, it's not that great for building, in my opinion. But I love using it to sell. Great. Here. There. Now, this is a weird sawmill. Very, very weird. But the way I know on how this will work is if a log is as long as these conveyors, it's not going to fit in the sawmill. So that helps. Now, the next log that I should try to get might be the birch up there. I might not be able to get it all, but getting some birch is going to be pretty nice. So let's go get some of that birch. And we're here. So let's see how well this stuff mills. Because that's the downside with birch. It's a little bit on the big side. So hopefully it mills well. It looks like it will. Let's grab these. There we go. There's a nice piece. Birch. It chops. It takes a little bit to chop. But the reason why we aren't doing lava wood is simply because it's not going to fit. Lava wood is not going to fit in this sawmill. We need at least the next size sawmill. Why is my car conveyor again? I feel like the cars in this game get so buggy at times. And there we go. Does it fit? Yes, it does. And try to make sure you don't have something blocking your sawmill, because it will severely downsize the wood. I've done it with elm wood. It's bad. I've gotten pieces of elm wood that should have been like 5 times the size of this, and they were much, much smaller than that, which is crazy. But the more you know, the better you get. And that piece went pretty deep. Goodness. Can't even hold this out. It's stuck. What have I done? What is it doing? Okay, chop. I gotta chop that quick. There. There we go. Let's get that piece of wood in there. Let's get that little piece in too. And see if I can fit these last few chunks. I think this guy might actually fit. If I turn him. Yeah, turning him makes him fit. Good. Yep. Now I just gotta make sure I can fit it all. That one can go in with the seats. There we go. Now I can drive on over. And I think this should be enough to get me the silver axe. Especially that long piece there. We'll see if everything without the long piece is enough. This chunk. Actually, it might not be enough. I think each piece is worth about 100. Guess that means we do need to get a little bit more. That's probably why I don't like birch. It takes forever to get. Is it enough? Oh, I think it's just barely enough. Let's check. Let's check. I think it's enough. Leave the steel. Is it steel or silver? Silver. Yep, it's enough. Sweet. Now that's pretty quick for getting silver axe, from what I would say. Yep. Oh, make sure we actually get it. And I forgot to do this, but you should always drop your axes. Not like the main one you're going to use, but all your backup axes. Make sure you drop them. That way, in case you die, you have these backup axes. There. Now, my next goal will be, how about we try to get some more birch, and then maybe some frostwood. And also, let's get a tiny floor. Because there's a cool trick with tiny floors that makes traveling really easy. How much is it? 20, yeah. That's cheap. So go ahead and buy that. Tiny floor. Yep. There we go. Now I get blueprints. The reason why they're good is if you equip it and do the tiny floor, and you go in the seat of your car, you can rotate your car. So, say you flip like this, you can flip the car back with the blueprint. So, that makes them very useful. So, what I will do is I'm going to go up here, but I'm not going to take any of the branches off these trees. I'm just going to chop all the trees and take the trunks. Alright, bringing these logs on over. Now, these were mostly trunks, but I couldn't get enough trunks, so I ended up just taking, like, an entire tree. But we're at 170, alright, we're at 170 now. So let's see what all this gets us to. Good. And we got that one. And now this piece, which is the big one, which was about 400. Now that's pretty good. So we can now afford the next sawmill. Unless I'm wrong on the price. Let's see. Yep, we can barely afford it. Let's go ahead and get it. This sawmill, I believe, is bigger in all directions, which is very nice. Let's bring it on over. There we go. This sawmill, I will set half inside the ground like that. Because why not? This one, we can go ahead and see if we can squeeze in like that. Pretty good. So it's mostly taller, but you can make the logs here much bigger, which makes it way nicer to use. There we go. What I believe we should get next will be maybe more birch, but I feel like we should do some cherry. If I can get to frost, we will have a lot. What I think I'll do is I'm going to try to get to about 1,000. Maybe 900 to 1,000. And then I'm just going to try to go straight for frostwood. Yeah, so let's get some birch to get to that number, and then go from there. We can go ahead and put all of these in, and get these slowly milling. And it looks like that one doesn't fit, which is annoying. So let's split it in half. Boom, boom. Okay. Getting a bigger sawmill is so nice, because being on these tiny little sawmills, it gets so annoying. I think even like this, I have to cut this piece here maybe? Maybe here. I'm gonna cut it here just to be safe, because I don't want this piece being too big and then having to cut it again, because that will be pretty bad. So we want to make sure that don't happen. And that piece just shrunk because I left that in the way. Though they're not going to look as good as the other ones because their sizing's different. So, well, we'll know if they're good or bad based on their value. So let's go check that. See how much they're worth. See if we've done good. Let's do this tiny piece first. Not bad. Yeah, I guess this wasn't bad. Hopefully it's about 900. It looks like it is. Oh, jeez. That's nice. Alright. Let's head over here and get some frostwood. Or not frostwood yet. We need the bridge, and then we need 2 pieces of dynamite. That's the minimum for getting frostwood. 100. Now we're on a 3-minute timer because we don't want to have to pay again for this bridge. Just waiting on the bridge, because this bridge takes forever to wait on. Let's jump out and actually. And never get your car stuck under there, because you will have your car start facing upwards and be stuck for a good while. So we gotta go all the way around that way, or we can go this way. I prefer going through this area and just passing through this weird weird valley, I guess. Cherry trees everywhere here. I don't know why the car sounds different. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but facing this way versus this way. Sounds a little weird. Might just be me, though. Go. 1 dynamite and 2 dynamite. 440. So I guess we only need, like, probably 640. That way, like, in case the bridge timer, we could pay the bridge again. And now we have to go back this way. I wonder what happens to those that, like, say someone dies and loses all their axes, but they don't have anything to sell on their base, only $5. What do they do? They can't get money because they don't have any axes. They don't have enough money to buy another axe. At that point, what do? Do you just make a new save? There's nothing really can do. So that's why I like to always have a backup axe. But then again, you should never get that low. If you get that low in money, then you're doing something wrong. And in general, now the volcano isn't even worth it. Because frostwood is worth, like, what? 3-5 times the amount of lava wood? And there's no risk to frostwood. The only risk is that you're too close to your dynamite, but that shouldn't happen. I guess the other risk could be that maybe you fall down and your car flips and you don't have a blueprint. But even still, you don't die, so you still have your axes. So either way, no point in the volcano. Really, then again, most of the wood in the game, there's no point in getting. Other than, you know, the build. And building is the main part of the game, so. I don't know. It depends on how you want to do it. Now, we explode this. Let's back up a bit. Now we can go. We will set the dynamite right here. Just like so. Perfect. And now we have to drive all the way up that hill to Frostwood. In case some of y'all didn't know, you can actually ride this little bridge here with the cars and truck. You can do it with the big truck, but the car, it's much easier. But it's quite hard because you have to be very patient. Like that. Oh, I was not patient enough there. You can do it, and it definitely speeds it up because you have to walk the whole rest of that path. So using a car or truck, it's pretty worth it. It's just it's a little bit hard to do it. Oh. Okay, let's go slow. Whoa. The turning on this thing kind of sucks. That's the problem with the car versus the truck. The car can't turn. Alright. The car, I'll give it one more shot. But the car doesn't really turn very well. Or at least it's just on that hill there. It seems like you would have to one-go that hill. Like, you can't stop. But you have to stop. It's like they tried making this as curvy as possible so you cannot get a vehicle. And yet, us players have still found ways. Okay. Now, we be patient. Alright? We be slow, we be patient. And we get the car up. There. Now, you can still fall, because they have a second path here. The first path was definitely the hardest. And if you're not patient, this one, it's not that bad. It's just, if you're not patient and just ram through it, then you're gonna fall. Same right there. There we go. Frostwood. Now, my plan here is I'm gonna chop the trees. But I'm gonna probably only take the trunks. Because I just want as much money worth of wood as I can. Like, as much as I can get. So we just gotta send all the wood down there. And we'll probably chop maybe 6 trees. And now, because we have the car up here, we can just go right down the ramp and let's go backwards. Okay, that didn't quite work. Can we get back up the ramp? I guess some speed back. And there we go. Kind of ruined it. I've ruined it a little bit. Should have just went forward, but it's fine. You know, this is why we go down the ramp. Sometimes these trees, they just stay up here for some reason. Right. Down there. And that is why we have to... Oh, no. Careful with using blueprint in this biome. It has a tendency to send your car to the void. I don't know why, it just has that tendency. I know I grabbed more trees than this. Where are all my trees at? Oh, it's hidden. It's trying to hide from me. It doesn't want to be cut. Of course, it wedged itself in there, so it took a second. Alright, now we just gotta keep chopping. So like so. What the? Seemed like all my wood just flowed. But let's keep chopping these. And once we finish chopping, we will head back. Let's move. Oh, no, yeah, okay. Let's move, and hopefully these rocks haven't... Oh, nope, they just respawned. I just saw that rock fall down. Yep. Now, quick tip. When rocks are falling down, don't dynamite them. Because if you dynamite them, they'll keep falling, and they'll just block your exit again. So, I just gotta wait. And apparently, they absolutely filled this. There, so let's leave the car there. Figure out what these rocks are doing. They're apparently pushing out everywhere. Hopefully that was the last one. I don't feel like waiting forever on these. Is that all of them? Looks like it. Let's shove this in here. Right there. And run. Alright, now we got a little bit of a path. So we want to hurry here. And the wood does despawn, but it takes a little bit. I just dropped these? No. Okay. Let's get this back to base. Let's start milling it. And see how much this is worth. It should be worth a good bit. I forget how much Rooksy Axe is. I like calling it Shark Axe, but I think it was like 4K? I might be wrong on that, though. I haven't gotten that axe in so long. Then again, I haven't played from the start in a good while. Like, in actual start without giving myself more cash in my main account. But this one will be all legitimate. Or legitimate. So, it's putting these pieces of wood in here. Soon enough, we might have a truck. Another tip. If you're doing vehicles, go straight from this car right to the big truck. Don't do that second car. That second car is a waste of money. think a good bit of people try to do it, but you're just gonna waste your cash and you will regret it. Truck is much better, much faster, and in general I just like it more. Shove all these pieces of ice wood in. There you go. Frost wood, ice wood. I feel like it should be called ice wood, because the wood it gives is just ice. I don't even think this is wood anymore, it's just ice. The naming of some of these woods, it's a little bit weird. And again, some of the wood in general is weird. Like zombie wood, a little weird. But, I don't know. I think this will be worth 3K. A big truck full of it is like 20K. This is probably 3K. I've been proven wrong. Okay then. Well, my second guess is 10K. Yeah, you can tell Icewood's a severe jump. I might even surpass 10K here. Wow. Wow. Good bit. How much is in the next sawmill? Let's check. The 11K or 22. I think 22 is more worth it. Let's go buy some more dynamite and maybe a vehicle, depending how much it's worth. And that'll probably be the end. Surprised how much we got from Frost. Like, it took forever for us to get the 2K needed for the silver axe, and then within probably less time we got 10K. Wow. And no, I'm not getting more plots. I'll get more plots in maybe episode 2, maybe 3. But for now, we just need to prepare. We need to get everything upgraded before we focus on plots. And I have a lot of plans for plots. My plan is, I'm going to do every slot. And it'll all be the same episode, it's just, you know, each slot will be different. Say, slot 1, this will probably be my main base. Not like my warehouse, my woodcutter, just a main happy base, I guess. That's 19. Yeah, this, don't get. This, no. No, no, no. I could get a trail. Ooh. Well, let's do that. A lot of people don't get trailers, but I like using trailers. They're fun. So, 1 trailer. How about we get a 2nd trailer? These will definitely help in getting frostwood. Yeah. Or icewood. I still don't know how or what you call it. And the other thing, we can get a pie. At least get 1. Yeah, like, expensive. Actually, not this one. Let's get the fridge pie. The fridge pie. That is the one that we need. It is spinning like crazy. There we go. Now we have all the event items. Excluding the lights, because I think the lights are staying. I don't think the lights are going to go away. Now, just get like 5 pieces of dynamite. No, 4 to 6. Because multiples of 2 are way better. Work through the window. Dynamite. Dynamite. Hello, Bob. Can you get me pieces? Thank you. Thank you. So what I want is I don't want to go back here. It's better to get these now than have to go back here and spend 100 for the bridge. We'll probably have to spend 100 for the bridge to get back out of here. But still, it's very worth it. And this go in. Right. get 2 more pieces. Take it. There we go. Try to fit them in somehow. Oh, and while we're here... Oh. Okay, yeah, never mind. We're not getting can of worms. We need that for the shark axe, or Roxy axe. But... I did not realize... I did not expect that to be that much. Okay, then. Much more expensive than I thought. Ah! It's my dynamite falling out. There we go. Let's get that in with the pie. And off we go. Back to the base. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 pieces of dynamite, 2 trailers in the pie. Very nice. And we still have 2k left. Sweet. I might be able to get the light. Let's see if I can afford the light. If I can, then that'll be good. That means I don't have to go back here again. Since fancy furnishings is basically just stuff for builds. How much is the light bulb? Oh, I can't afford it. Man. So, I guess Roxy Axe actually is like 7 to 8k. Wow. Okay, the bridge is right. I was gonna say, I would be more mad if the bridge started raising the second I got out to here. The fact that it's already raised, you know, it's fine. It's whatever. We can go right here. Okay. And trailers, don't lose them. You don't want to respawn any vehicle because you're just going to use your money. You don't want to use money on vehicles other than to buy them. Once you have like 100,000 or something, then you don't really have to care about it. But it takes a good bit of grinding to get that much. Or if you get like limiteds, like the pie, you might be able to sell it to others. Though the public servers have gotten pretty bad. They've gotten bad. I've heard that some bots are going around now trying to do something. I don't really know what, but whatever, they're doing something. And this, sure. Yeah, I definitely need more land. We'll do land next episode. Do that. And we will move forward a little bit. Place the second one there. There we go. There we go. And quick way to empty. Go forward and boom. And boom, they're all empty. I can go there. Our dynamites can stay here. Boom. Drag that guy forward. This will probably irritate you, but I placed this a little weird. Again, it's whatever. Jeez. Moving these guys. Not that nice. Stop. Oh, hook. Dead hook. Thank you. Now I gotta bring this guy over. Kinda rare to get the same color twice. A pink vehicle is rarer, but this is still very nice. And these are actually pretty much the same, so I just tripled the amount I can carry. That's nice. But overall, this was a very nice haul, because we got Frostwood, we got the Silver Axe, we've got our car, our 2 trailers, plenty of dynamite, both gifts, like, or both limiteds, I mean. The fair sawmill, and pretty much a good bait setup. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.